So if he's up there, then I don't want to be here for sure. I'd back up to this pillar right here. I'd start looking at angles here. I'm trying to gauge my advantage here, and I don't have it, so I just leave. Now I'm going to back up right here, and look, I'm waiting for him. There he is. That's my bait, and now we got the 100, easy. You don't force fights. When you're really close range to people, you don't have to force the fight. You want to just like find an advantage or bait them into something where it's going to create the advantage for you, right? You don't want to... Today's training is basically short range, close range combat using cover. So we're using cover in close range combat. What we're trying to do is teach you all to stop taking 50-50 so much that are just completely open field with no cover. It's very dangerous, and most of the time you're going to take 100 damage minimum, and then you're going to get third partied, or you're just going to go into the next fight hurt. And so it's a lot better to just utilize cover whenever it's nearby. And a lot of people just kind of struggle with that. They don't like see cover as like the optimal thing to do in most cases. A lot of people will see a fight like this, they'll be in this exact situation, and they'll just start doing this, right? Where they just take this fight. I would say 90% of players do. And then the players that are really good will just do a quick move over here, and then they'll take complete advantage of the situation where they don't even, like, I can miss shots and still win this fight. I don't have to hit anything almost. I can just piece it up like that because I got to cover first, and he's got to move into cover, and I continue to play that cover against my opponent, and makes it very easy. Just realizing, like, cover first. In 90% of situations, I would say use the cover that's next to you. There are some times when you're a little too far from the cover and you're too close to your enemy, and at that point, yes, you have to take the 50-50. If I'm right here, right, I'm not going to run to cover because I'm going to get shot in the back 2 or 3 times and die. So you have to be within, like, the right ranges. So it's also a calculation you have to take into account of, is like, how close are you to your enemy and how much damage are they going to deal to you? If I'm this close to him and the cover's all the way back here, I'm not going to run for cover because I'm going to take 2 or 3 shots, and at that point I'm stuck in the 50-50. So 50-50s.
And resetting in this situation isn't like...
No, that's good. Yeah, if you can, I mean, like, but if you shock out in a situation like this, right, where you get into the situation, you have to ask yourself, how did you get in this situation? Because if I'm right here...
I get pushed a lot.
Yeah, so if I hear shockwaves coming in, then I'll shock out before it gets to this type of situation, right? So if I hear a shockwave, somebody shock on me, I hear that and I'm out. I pull out the shockwave before he gets there. You can hear it come. So make sure you got your audio on, make sure you're listening in, because you hear those sound cues, and, like, the better you get, the more tuned in you are to that sound or any kind of mobility sound, because people are jumping on your head. So you shouldn't ever end up in the situation where you're like, oh, we're 50-50, let me pull out my shocks, because at that point you're going to take a massive amount of damage just trying to go, unless you're playing somebody that's not very good and they can't hit the shots, because, go ahead and start shooting me. And look, with the lag, it does a double pump, and now I'm down to 75 HP. This guy's going to shock after me, and it's just a few bullets and I'm dead, right? So that's not ideal. In most cases, you just want to, like, not get in that situation, obviously. So you want to leave early if somebody's shocking on you, or you just don't want to get in situations where it's open field 50-50. So you just don't want to force those fights unless you absolutely have to, or there's absolutely no one around. It's a 1v1 and you're just confident in your shots, that sort of thing. Let's just go ahead and work some cover. So let's go around here, Mike, and I want you to find, what's the best place to find me right now? Good. Okay. Perfect. Okay. What's the best place to find me now?
I have nothing but left-hand peaks here, so I would probably want to be over here.
Yep. That's too far, though. So that's too far, because you're going to get beamed going across that open field. So what you got to do is you got to work the right angle. So let's go ahead and flip the spots. Come over here where I'm at. Right? So if I'm over here, and I see this situation right here, okay, I don't want any part of that, so I'm going to go over here, and I'll probably go, like, up like this, and take a right shoulder off the top of this. So now I'm working this. He's in a pretty bad spot. As long as I hang my right shoulder over, we're okay here. And then also, he's got an open roof situation right here. This is real bad for him. Now I've dealt enough damage, I can jump down here and take the 50-50. Like, yeah, I might take some damage. I mean, it's not ideal to do it, but if he's going to get away, that's when you drop and you do take the 50-50. If he's, looking like he's going to leave, or if he's in really good cover, you just got to drop and take it. But you don't want to enter the 50-50 without a massive health advantage. So I'm not saying 50-50s don't do them ever. They don't make any sense. They absolutely make sense, but you want to make sure you're at an advantage when you do take them. so here we go again. We're in this situation. Sorry, say that again. There was a few people talking. What'd you say?
I said, you know, like the defense to how you came up on the roof on him. What would you say would be the defense to that?
He needs to get out of there. So go ahead. If you can you get on that roof for me, Mike? It's kind of a... There you go. Okay, so if he's up there, then I don't want to be here for sure. I'd back up to this pillar right here. I'd start looking at angles here. I'm trying to gauge my advantage here, and I don't have it, so I just leave. Now I'm going to back up right here, and look, I'm waiting for him. There he is. That's my bait, and now we got the 100. Easy. So it's more about, like, you don't force fights. When you're really close range to people, you don't have to force the fight. You want to just, like, find an advantage or bait them into something where it's going to create the advantage for you, right? You don't want to... It's like last week we talked about, the opening of the fight is the most important part of the fight. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please drop a like on it and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Thanks so much. It's like 80% of the fight is determined by that very initial, you know, first shot. First couple shots, right? Whatever happens in those first couple shots generally determines the whole fight, like how it's going to go down, who's going to win. If we start fighting right here, what's going to happen? If we start fighting right now, it's 50-50, and that determines what this fight looks like. It means I'm going to take 100 damage, might get third partied, you know, we're just stuck there. But if we're right here and I decide to go like this, just one little move back here, this just determined the entire fight, and now he's stuck in a bad situation, and I can play the cover, and he's just forced to move and get out of that, you know, disadvantaged situation. But because we started the engagement in that situation where I had a right shoulder peek, that determined the entire fight, the opening of the fight. Okay, so let's everybody emote really quick. Go back to Aim Island. Yeah, go for it.
When you said, like, rushing after they're hurt, like, is there a cue to you? Is it when they're broken?
If their shields crack, yeah. I mean, and also I'm just keeping track of damage. Like, you can see damage numbers. You roughly know what you're hitting for. And we're going to go over to 1v1 a friend over here. You know what you're hitting for, you know, roughly. And if you get over 100 and you haven't taken any damage, generally speaking, you can push the fight as long as you're pushing it smartly and not going into their right shoulder peak or something like that. Is everyone else on high ping right now and bad internet? Like, do you all have a X in your Wi-Fi? You have like a bad Wi-Fi symbol. Packet loss. Huh. Maybe it's just me. Okay, so we'll go over here so the bots aren't respawning. So this is a good spot. So you guys just want to learn how to work little pieces of cover like this, or like cover it like this, and you don't want to force those 50-50s. So if I'm fighting Mike in here, or Stuntman, actually, here, we'll mix it up. Stuntman, I'm fighting Stuntman in here. I'm going to be just playing this and playing a defensive mode here. I've done about 60 damage, and now all I have to do is just, like, kind of just slowly move, right? I'm not playing hyper aggressive. This is that Psycho versus Calm. When you are playing Calm and you've got the cover and the person is out in the open, you really want to play that cover effectively and just kind of stay calm. Let them force themselves into bad spots and just stay tight to that cover, and don't let them take advantage of you, or don't let them get the angle on you. But when you're opposite, you do got to play that Psycho. If Stuntman's got this spot right here, I don't have to actually, because I can do something like this, where I just play this cover tight, and now I've done 100. Now let's just go ahead and push in here, and we win that because of that initial 100. Because of the start of the fight. That fight plays out a lot differently if I just jump into it, go ahead and stay in that same spot, okay? That fight might play out differently if I do something like this. And that's what most people do, but notice I just got a health regen on that. I think I was down to like 20 health. So if I push that fight, even if I win it, I really lose because I have 20 HP. And anytime you're under like 100 HP, you pretty much lost the game. You should expect the third party. You got to find resources. You got to burn your heals. You got to burn everything, right? So it's a massive loss when you take that much damage. So we try to avoid taking that much damage in fights. It's very easy to take a lot of damage in close range fights if you're not using cover effectively. So we're looking for opening damage like this, playing these really quick right shoulder peeks. At this range right here, I know that if I can land a couple of headshots, not happening. Now I'm over peeking the same spot. I'm going to bait. Now I'm playing defensively, and there we go. Step in here, Mike. Okay, let's go out here, actually. Okay, So what's my best use of cover right now, Mike?
Here would be that rock over there.
You think mine would be this?
No, that's a left-hand peek for you.
Yep. Okay, so yep, like this. Yep, so I could go like this and play this. Now Mike takes it away from me, so now I have to back up. Now it's another thing that people don't realize is that when their cover gets taken away, they just stand there and just allow it to be taken, but it's just not a good move. It's better to see it coming. So if Mike go back over here, right? Yep, so I have the right shoulder here. Okay, now you start moving, and then I just back up. I probably wouldn't at that point because I've done 100 and something. I just want to finish the fight quickly. But if I didn't hit him that hard, then I'd want to back up and just play this a little bit better and just keep using the cover against him. Now we're both on, you know, the same kind of advantage, but I have a massive health advantage. So, and if I can play it right by, you know, coming out really quick, hitting quick shots, then yeah. What's up, Colin? What's up, Rat Pack? Okay, any questions on this stuff? Pretty much the most important thing about this, guys, is get into cover quickly and then getting your right shoulder peaks down. Now, a lot of you probably don't have your right shoulder peaks down very well. You really got to practice that stuff. Getting in and out of cover so that you appear and disappear on your opponent's screen very quickly, deal a little bit of damage, and then go right back in is super important. So make sure you got that down, and then in these fights, you're just going to be looking for right shoulder, right shoulder, right shoulder. And then once you've gotten a health advantage, you want to be moving in such a way that you're not putting yourself into their trap. Because a lot of people don't recognize when they're walking into someone's trap or walking into someone's kill lane or their right shoulder peak, all those things. So if I'm fighting Mike right here, right? Go ahead and hit me hard, Mike. When I hit him, he hits me. Hit me a little more. Okay, now go back to cover. Go back to cover. Okay, now if I were to push Mike like this, I die. Every time. Okay, let's do that again. This time, Mike, get me hurt. Okay. A better push might be something like this. Like, it just takes a moment, but now we're avoiding...
Now you have the opportunity.
Now we're avoiding his trap, right? Because this is the right shoulder he wants. This is what 90% of people are going to do. They're going to run up and take this fight, not thinking about the fact that he has a huge advantage. So you need to get a different angle. You don't have to force it in that moment because you're going to die 90% of the time. Instead, you have to work in a way that is making it hard for him to hit that shot and easier for you. So if I'm in a situation like this, where I'm fighting Mike... Okay, and he's got me really hurt. I get him a little bit. Okay, now we're both like really hurt. How can I do this in a way that I can secure damage? Well, I'm doing a little quick crouch and uncrouch, and now I'm just pre-firing that corner, hoping he walks out into it. Now I've got a massive health advantage, and boom. So it's like, don't do the easy thing for the person, which would be this, and like peeking up like this. This would make it very easy for Mike to kill me. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm doing really quick, like off-tempo, off-beat peaks. I'm not even peeking in like one after another. I'm kind of waiting. Okay, now he's peeking that. He knows what I'm doing. Now we switch it up. And now we go left actually on this because we're mixing up our shots. We're not going to peek the same thing because people can recognize patterns. As soon as your enemy does something, you're going to watch for them to do the exact same thing because most people will do the exact same thing. They'll repeat the same move at least 2 times in a fight, right? I would say like most people would do that. So if you're fighting on like kind of an even level playing field or you're both hurt, it's better to mix up your shots. Now look at me, I'm taking away the right shoulder. Now I go around and now it's mine. Now the right shoulder is mine. So you see how I
like to peek to the tempo of the Bee Gees staying alive.
Yeah, there you go. So I went right there to avoid his right shoulder. It forced him to come out further, and by the time he came out, I was getting into his cover, and now he's in a big uh-oh situation. Yeah.
How much does knowing the terrain play into this? Because I feel like I'm more confident when I know the area. Like this map, I don't know that well, so...
Not very much, to be honest. Like, if you put me in any situation against... You know, I'm not... if you put me in a situation against an intermediate player on any map, I could beat them 9 times out of 10, I would say. If I was, you just visually see what you got going on, right? Like, this isn't very complicated. Like, it's a little different when inside of structures, when there's a bunch of rooms and a bunch of, like, things you can't see. But when you can see everything, it's quickly mapped out to my mind of what I'm already going to use in the fight. Like, It just becomes autopilot once you get to a certain level of like using cover and positioning, that everything just becomes, you don't think about it at all. You just kind of do it. Yeah, like if you were to like see inside like what my subconscious is actually seeing, it's just seeing like, you know, you can map it out like right shoulder peek right there, right shoulder peek on that door, right shoulder peek on this rock, you know, left shoulder, no good. You know, left shoulder, no good. Left shoulder, no good. So where am I? Like, I instantly think of like advantageous spots on right shoulder peaks, right? Where is that? Over at this doorway, you know, if I can get behind this rock, sure. Depending on where my enemy is, if he's out behind this. Okay, what kind of advantage do I have right now? I can look at the peak of this maybe, and look at this little headshot right here. Trying to stay ranged from him so he's not going to hit me too hard. And now we can actually just go with a jump shot right here. Just keep distance so he can't finish the fight with the big hit. I've got that 100 damage plus, and now I can push. But yeah, basically I don't think about it anymore. I've just played first person shooters forever, and I can, like, my mind just puts it together itself of what is advantageous and what's disadvantageous. Like, I would love if you could show you guys the red and green on my screen, like the good, the bad, right? Like, don't go here, don't go there. You know, that sort of stuff would be awesome. I can't, unfortunately. I've always kind of wanted to do a video like that where I like show my routes and like why I didn't go there, and like, well, that is, you know, like paint it red and this screen and like options sort of thing. Because there's a million different options. Even in a fight like this, there's, you know, probably 10 good options right here that I could fight him with. And, you know, some of them are very obvious. This, like this for me is pretty obvious. If I can use this little like peek on him, that's pretty good. Now, if you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Consider using code TobyWanShinobi in your Fortnite item shop if you want to support me and my family of 4. And if you want to take your gameplay to the next level, consider joining the Shinobi Clan as a member. Master level members get 2 days a week of personal training with myself and other masters. And if a membership's not for you, you can always use the Zero Build Mastery course to improve your skills and watch my must-watch playlist for Fortnite Zero Build on my YouTube channel. That is a curated playlist of stuff that is really, really going to help you improve fundamentals, and it's always going to be relevant. It's a video playlist of holistic guides that are guaranteed to help you. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day. Shinobi out.